Hey everyone, Hellraiser Adventures here. Hellraisers! So, got this 2015 machine here. I was having issues with the front diff, the original. When you'd put it in full-wheel drive, it worked fine, and then you'd take it out of full-wheel drive, turn the switch off, and it would still stay engaged, and you'd hear a little bit of growling. So, I took it out, and I had bought this Super ATV front diff. I had bought it used, and it had a broken pin in it, so I drilled that out, put a 1/8 inch solid pin in it, got it all put together, and got it in the machine. It was working. I took it out the first time and tried to climb a little bit of a hill with it, and it started ratcheting, so I guess the sprag's no good. So today I am going to pull this thing apart, and I've got the original front diff. I've got it all back together. I took the sprag out, which is right here. And that sprag, instead of being perfectly round, it's a little bit egg-shaped. So I guess it was hanging up in there and causing it to drag once you had turned it off. But anyway, I've got this original front diff, got a new sprag in it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that sucker and put it back in. So I'm gonna put y'all on time lapse, and we're gonna get these 35s off of this machine, get everything tore apart. That Super ATV front diff is a lot bigger than a factory OEM front diff, so we're gonna have to take the winch plate out and undo the steering rack to get it out, and it was a barrier to get in, so it's going to be fun to get out. But anyway, we're going to put up a time lapse on that, and then also I'll have this camera going and give y'all some real-time footage and show what it's all about. But anyway, I'm gonna set this other camera up and start time lapsing, and we'll get started. All right, I got everything dismantled here. Shock and A-arm pulled up, this one dropped. I'm gonna step over to the other side and do the same thing, and then I'll start taking the winch apart. Gotta pull those bolts right there and there, and then loosen the rack up, and then I'll pull the bolts off the front diff. We'll get the sucker out of here real quick and go back in with the new one. So, had a little bit of time. I've got some anti-seize grease in those front diff hubs. Keeps everything from being too tight. You know, when you pull it apart, those things can get corroded in there. And of course, you know, I just put this one in here not too long ago. It's been on one ride and that's it. So anyway, we'll move over to the other side. All right, got the second side undone here. Got everything tied up. So now we'll get in there, we'll knock that pin out right there from the front drive shaft to the front diff. And then we'll go ahead and unbolt the diff, get the winch mount out of the way, And yeah, get this sucker pulled out so we can stick that new one in. Let's keep going. Right on. Okie dokie, we got that all taken out. As y'all can see in the time lapse, it was a chore. That's a big old unit there. We'll get it and go set it next to the OEM part. Never mind my shop, it's a mess. So there's the difference in those. Big old chunk of front diff there, but we're gonna go stab this little dude back in there. First I'm gonna fill it up with fluid, so I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll go stab it back in and get it all put back together, and we'll go from there. Okay, we got the new unit, or well, the original unit back in. Got the drive shaft on. Got got it sitting there. We got the steering rack already bolted back up. About to bolt back up the winch and winch mount plate there, get that done, and then we'll start putting everything back together the rest of the way, and we'll have this thing whooped. So keep watching. All right, everybody, we got that all put back together, all tidied up. Original OEM front diff, everything's tidied up, ready to go. I'm gonna go out here and do a little test rip in it real quick, so I'll let y'all come along for the ride. So we're just gonna pull right out here, pull up on some rocks and see if this thing's actually working or not. So rock pile right here. No ratcheting, so I'm thinking this one's okay. We'll see if it spins in two-wheel drive or not. All right, seems like everything's working, so we'll change the oil and all that good stuff.